Hello ladies and gentlemen and everyone beyond. I am BabyNoobCakes and this is the second episode of PlayStation+ Reviews, and on this episode we're going to be taking a look at one of the other December 2019 free games, Titanfall 2. So without further ado, here's my review where I will try to answer the question, as one of the free games of the month, was it worth it? Mechanics. Ooh, this game is buttery smooth and runs like a dream. I've played plenty of games with janky or just bad controls, but this was not one of them. The wall running and sliding work exactly the way you want them to, and they can make even the worst players look cool as hell while using them. And even though I am not very good at first-person shooters, did I mention I was bad? Oh, real bad. Oh, real bad. Oh, gosh. Anyway, the wall running really works for you, and there is even a quick ledge hop for those times that you're a little low on your target. So often the first-person 3D platforming is just so bad, but not with Titanfall. There are also these really cool zip lines that you can ride up and down, of course. Each gun also has its own unique heads-up display, showing the number of remaining bullets in the gun itself, and even turns red as you run low on ammo. About halfway through the campaign, you also get a time travel ability, and while it is amazing, sometimes the past is not always your friend. But when used correctly, you can end a battle in mere seconds. There are differences in the past and present, and you can exploit those to traverse through the level, like this. There's also a bunch of collectibles to find throughout the game, and they really reward you for going off the beaten path in order to find them. Art style. This game has a very cool sci-fi aesthetic with lots of bright colors. One complaint I have about a lot of other modern games is that when they are so hyper-detailed and photorealistic, crisp and clean, you miss so many details while you're busy looking at others. In other words, they're cluttered. But I never had any issues seeing the important details in this game. Sound. Pretty bog standard soundtrack of epic music. It gets you hype, it's great in the background, but I won't be humming it afterwards. However, the sound effects. The sound effects are what really makes this game stand out to me. It's got a lot of really crunchy sounds. The Titan and the gun noises are super satisfying. Let's take a look at that. Or I guess, let's take a listen. Ooh, that had to hurt.
Get it back.
Chunky.
Keep pushing. Keep fighting and you'll get your Titan. Titan is standing by. Call it when ready.
Ooh, here it is.
Stand by for
Here it
Titanfall.
is. Replayability. Obviously, a multiplayer-focused first-person shooter will have as much replayability as your willingness to continue putting time into the game itself. Well, as long as there's also a community out there playing the game. Admittedly, most of the time I spent with this game was in the single-player campaign, because I'm just not that huge a fan of multiplayer, and especially not first-person shooters. However, this one really knocked it out of the park for me. I could definitely see myself coming back to this one, the campaign and the multiplayer. Narrative. This story follows Jack Cooper as versed by Matt Mercer and his Titan BT-7274. You find yourself in a losing battle and end up getting a battlefield promotion to Titan Pilot.
Cooper, take my Titan.
You fight your way through the incoming army, find yourself in an enemy training facility, eventually wind up uncovering a super weapon, meet up with some others from your side of the war, and then help them take down the top forces of the opposition and shut down the super weapon. All throughout the game, you are fighting side by side, and sometimes inside, of your Titan friend BT.
Controls transferred to pilot.
And I really did feel like I bonded with BT throughout my playthrough. He really does become your friend, and he tells great jokes.
Pilot, exercise caution.
We can say that again.
Pilot, exercise caution.
Somebody's in love.
A human's concept of love requires admiration, attraction, devotion, and respect. Conclusion. I am 50% in love.
Long time no see, BT.
On the contrary, your helmet provided me with a live feed of your actions. You fought well out there, Pilot. Pilot, are you alright?
Barely. That was a meat grinder. You okay?
I'm undamaged. However, I do not believe this is a food processing plant.
My opinion. I had a blast playing through the story mode, even though it was only about 4 to 5 hours of playtime, and I only played a handful of games online. But even the multiplayer was exactly the type of thing you'd want from a game like this. The Titans didn't seem too overpowered, you didn't have them all the time, but they could really turn the battle in your favor when you did. The crisp controls for the traversal and the gunplay was all there from the campaign, with way more things than I was able to unlock with my time in the game, but I still had a lot of fun with it, even though I only scratched the surface of what the multiplayer has to offer. I think the thing that really caught me off guard was that this game doesn't take itself too seriously. It really gives the Titan his own personality.
Nice. Maybe next time you can throw me.
Noted.
And like I said before, he tells great jokes.
Are you sure about this?
There is a 68% chance of success.
By the end of the campaign, you most likely will love your giant robo buddy. Robo-buddy. This game actually got me thinking quite a bit about just why I liked it so much, when normally, this kind of game, first-person shooters, aren't really my cup of tea. And I've come to the conclusion that there is an incredibly fine line that separates the good from the bad. Looking into some other AAA titles like Battlefield and Call of Duty, I think I may have actually enjoyed the story modes of some of those, had I ever picked them up. But what made me avoid them? Was it just the communities surrounding them, or was it the games themselves? First-person shooters are not my favorite genre. I've never bought in on Battlefield or Call of Duty. I've played a fair amount of Overwatch and Team Fortress 2, though. But again, those are not the type of games that I put most of my time into. I think the conclusion that I came to is that there has to be a heart in the first-person shooter that I give my time to. I just feel like a lot of gaming studios in recent years have focused so much of their efforts on creating spectacles and hype, rather than enjoyable experiences like this game. You can see the love that was put into it, and it shows. A lot of modern-day shooters focused on bleeding-edge graphics, or creating skins and DLC microtransaction guns that have a camo-themed paint job with middle finger stickers, or whatever. Or just being the edgiest game with the most badass characters. All just so that they can rake in boatloads of cash from people who don't want to miss out on playing the new shooter of the year. What I'm really trying to say is that the team that worked on Titanfall 2 probably didn't have to try as hard as they did. They didn't have to write jokes for the giant robot, but they did. They put in the work and the effort, and they really cared about what they were making, and it shows. Was it worth it? Well, at this point, I'm pretty sure you can tell what my verdict is going to be. And yes, I am very happy that this one was included in the PlayStation Plus Games of the Month and was very worth the download. I'm glad that I didn't completely miss out on a chance to get to play this game. And for all of you out there, even those that don't particularly care for this type of game, this one is a bit different, and it tells a slightly different type of story. And the campaign is well worth the 4 to 6 hours you'll spend on it. And hey, maybe you'll even get into the multiplayer. This one is worth it. Also, don't forget to go onto the PlayStation Store and download your free games every month, because sometimes you will end up with a few gems. Thank you, and good night. Thank you for watching. Click that like button, comment, and subscribe.